July 20th, 1969. The entire world sat glued to their television screens for a moment that seemed impossible. Humanity was about to set foot on the moon for the first time. It was a perfect mix of science, politics, and human dreams. Today, we find out how this impossible mission became reality. The Cold War space race. In 1957, the Soviet Union launched the first satellite, Sputnik, into space. America was genuinely shaken. It was a massive win for the Soviets during the Cold War. Then in 1961, Yuri Gagarin became the first human in space. America decided it needed to aim for something bigger, the moon. Kennedy's announcement. In 1961, President John F. Kennedy stood before Congress and declared that America would land a man on the moon and bring him back safely before the decade ended. It sounded like an impossible dream, but NASA got to work immediately, giving birth to the Apollo program. The struggles of Apollo. The road wasn't easy. In 1967, a fire during the Apollo 1 mission killed 3 astronauts. The tragedy brought the whole program to a halt. But NASA refused to give up. They redesigned, improved safety, and slowly pushed forward again. The Saturn V rocket. At the heart of the Apollo missions was the Saturn V rocket, standing 363 feet tall, the most powerful rocket of its time. It was designed by scientist Wernher von Braun, who once worked on Germany's rocket program. This rocket had the power to carry humans and equipment beyond Earth's orbit toward the moon. Apollo 11 launch. On July 16, 1969, Apollo 11 launched from Kennedy Space Center in Florida. On board were 3 astronauts: Neil Armstrong, Buzz Aldrin, and Michael Collins. Millions watched on live television. The launch was so powerful that the ground shook for miles around. Lunar orbit and landing. After 4 days of travel, on July 20th, the lunar module Eagle began its descent to the moon's surface. A computer error appeared during landing, and fuel was running dangerously low. Armstrong took manual control and landed safely with seconds to spare. Back on Earth, the whole world held its breath. The historic step. That's one small step for man, one giant leap for mankind. With these words, Neil Armstrong became the first human to step on the moon. An estimated 600 million people watched live, a record at the time. Buzz Aldrin followed shortly after. Moonwalk in return. The astronauts spent about 2 hours on the lunar surface. They planted a flag, collected soil and rock samples, and set up scientific instruments. They then safely returned to the command module and splashed down on Earth on July 24th. Controversy and conspiracy theories. Even after such a monumental achievement, some people claimed it was all staged. But the moon rock samples, independent radar tracking from other nations, and evidence from thousands of scientists clearly confirmed it really happened. Conclusion. Apollo 11 wasn't just a mission. It was one of humanity's greatest achievements. It proved that when people dream together and work hard enough, even the impossible becomes possible.